Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. You guys, you sent me so many beautiful gifts. I'm so excited. Christmas is coming. So I got the Rupaul's Drag Race deck from Ginny. They are in pile 4 today. Thank you so much, Ginny. You are such a sweet treat. I received the Lioness Oracle Tarot from Mandy. I absolutely adore these. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. They are in pile 1 today. These beautiful oracle cards are from my friend Linda, who's also a student of mine. She's such a sweet treat, and they're over here. And she actually got the book signed by the creator as well, which was really quite beautiful. So thank you so much, Linda. And finally, this one came from Amazon yesterday. The Literary Witches Oracle, we're also using that today. I love this deck. It says, you are such an incredibly gifted person with the sweetest voice. Total Anglophile here, bless you. I hope this deck allows you to bring peace and insight to others like you have me. That's so cute. Take care, Tamra, the aspiring writer in Oklahoma. Tamra, you are such a sweet treat. Your message really moved me. It makes me so happy to think that even if I just inspire one person, I feel like I've done a job well done. So thank you so much. So we're also using that deck today as well. Oh, so you guys, we have got a reading for you today. We are going to be looking at why your person is not communicating. So I'm going to turn the piles around so you can see them. The timestamps are in the comments below. Let's have a look. See, we have got the Lioness Oracle Tarot with a piece of Amazonite, the Spiritsong Tarot with Amethyst, the Moonchild Tarot with Black Shimmer Moonstone, and Rupaul's Drag Race deck with the Lemurian Quartz. So pause the video if you need to, douse, whatever you need to do, pick a pile, hit the timestamps in the box below. Sometimes there could be messages for you in all of them. Bear in mind that these are general readings, okay? They're not going to resonate for everybody. Don't try and make it fit. Take what works for you. Leave what doesn't. So let's get this show on the road. Pile 1. Why is your person not communicating with you? What would they say if they could? What do they want to say? I think these are always quite useful readings when you're facing complete silence. Now, even though I've riffle shuffled these, as you can see, the backs aren't reversible. So if they turn out reversed, I will be turning them right way up. I don't work with reversals in decks that don't have reversible backs. I think all decks should have reversible backs personally, but if they don't, I still use them because I love them. These are beautiful. Oh, right. So whilst I'm shuffling, guys, just a quick reminder that my new classes start in January. They're filling up pretty fast. Now, it's always the case that on the day the classes start, I get a ton of emails saying, hey, I really wanted to do this class, but it says it's out of stock. Yes, it's sold out because the class starts today. So if you're thinking of doing my classes, do book ahead because they do always sell out, and I don't want you to be disappointed. Literally, I could fill the classes 10 times over with the number of emails I get on the day they start. And then people are sad and disappointed because they didn't get a place. But I usually do advertise them at least 8 weeks in advance. I've got a ton starting in the 1st or 2nd week of January, I don't remember. The next mediumship class will be the last one I do for a couple of months. I probably won't do another one till April. I'm going to be restructuring what I teach next year and adding some new classes. And of course, if you want to book a private reading for me, you can do that at my website, happysouls1111.com. You can also find me on Instagram at happysouls1111 and my Facebook support group for twins and ascending souls. There's a link to that in the description box below. Right, let's do this. Why isn't your person communicating with you? Now, I'm going to use the gender pronoun he. You might be dealing with a she. Just alternate it as suits you and your situation. So we have got the 8 of Cups. We have got the Knight of Wands. We have got the 10 of Wands. And the 5 of Pentacles. Why isn't your person communicating? And what do they want to say? Ace of Wands. Temperance. Eight of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. It's called the High Priest in this deck. I'm going to get some oracle cards as well. We've got joy and love. That's beautiful. I'm going to pull some more oracle cards as we go. So why isn't this person communicating with you? I mean, we've got the Eight of Cups. You know, this is about being on their own in a journey. You know, this is a card for me of leaving but coming back again, of learning to fill up their own cup. In this deck, there is a black cup with a butterfly, and I feel like this person's really taking time out to face the shadow aspects of self. But the Knight of Wands does suggest that this person could also be in a lot of player energy and isn't, you know, with this Ten of Wands, they're not ready to face the fire. They're not ready to take responsibility. They also have massive abandonment issues surrounding rejection. Now, I'm feeling that you probably rejected them. You put your foot down. You said, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. And, you know, this person, this has really wounded their pride, is what I'm hearing. They're feeling just very put out by this, you know. I don't think they thought this would ever happen. I thought they thought you would just wait. You would always be around. And, you know, even though they're not communicating with you, I don't think you're really communicating with them. Yeah, we've got transformation. So they are definitely, and belonging. Now, for me, this is definitely about, you know, do I belong? Do I not belong? This really resonates with that fear of rejection in that Five of Pentacles card and working through those abandonment issues. And we've got Chicken. You know, they're scared. They're scared of this. They're afraid of the intensity of their feelings. They don't really know what they want. They've got their wall up. So, you know, this person is definitely running scared. They've got the defenses up. They never thought you'd reject them. This has made them feel very reluctant to kind of put themselves out there and be vulnerable again. But we have got the Joy card here. It's reflections in consciousness. And I really do feel like this person is busy trying to find their own happiness, which is a really good thing. You know, you've cut them off. I feel like they know they deserved it. And they're kind of thinking, do you know what, I just need to make myself happy. I've been in a bad place. And they're very focused on that. We've also got relieved and trapped. So for some of you, this person may be trapped in a karmic situation or a kind of negative cycle that they're still not able to release themselves from. But the relieved card does suggest that even though they're pretty hurt and, you know, feeling rejected, that it's at least released them from this obligation to step up and kind of, you know, be more committed in this connection, because they simply weren't ready for that. You know, they needed to change. They were very codependent and unhealthy in their own perspective. So this person's running scared. You know, they weren't ready for this anyway. We've got Secret Service here, which makes me think, you know, they are watching you. They are watching you. They're looking at you on social media, on the internet, in whatever way they can. They're keeping an eye on you. And, you know, they know that they need to come. They need to please you. They need to figure this out, and they're not ready to do that. They feel purposeless at the moment. So this person could be unemployed, I'm thinking. You know, they don't know what they're doing with their life. They don't feel worthy of a relationship with you anyway. And they feel really foolish since you've rejected them, because they know they cocked it up, which is a polite way of saying effed it up in the UK. Cocked it up, I think, with a chicken there. It kind of fits, you know what I'm saying? But their thoughts are very self-defeatist. This person isn't in a good place. You know, they've kind of convinced themselves, well, I didn't deserve this person anyway. You know, this was always bound to happen. I feel like it was a self-fulfilling prophecy for them. They are optimistic about the future, though, but they're still facing their ego. And they're happy that you're free. You know, they want you to be happy. They want you to be okay. They're glad you've been assertive. It's definitely increased their respect for you. But they are very anxious about your sudden withdrawal. So what would they say? What would they say to you that they're not saying? We've got Ace of Wands, Temperance, Eight of Pentacles, the High Priest, and Love. And this is really a very beautiful lineup. I mean, what I'm hearing here is that, you know, they're on this in a journey because they want that beautiful new beginning. And the Ace of Wands is, of course, the dick stick. It really is. And we've got that orange rose there, which represents the sacral chakra. So they're feeling very passionate about you. They know that they need to bring things back into balance, and they do want to make it work. The High Priest here, and there's a key in this rose. Now, yellow is the colour of the solar plexus. This is our trigger centre. You've got the owl here representing wisdom, and these twins at the top here as well. And I really think that the Hierophant is about, you know, major change, higher learning. With this Ace of Wands as well, I feel like this person's finally acknowledging the spiritual, soulful nature of your connection. I feel like they're very aware of the telepathic or astral communication between you, even though that terrifies them. And they want to bring themselves back into balance. And they know that the key to making this happen is to start paying attention to the wisdom that Spirit is trying to share with them. That's what's going to unlock the pain that they're in and the pain they've brought to this connection. It's literally, you know, unlocking their trigger center so they can start to process the emotions that are being brought forward. But this person really cares about you a lot. I mean, this is a beautiful card. It's called Love. So you've got these rainbows of hope, this higher wisdom here, dolphins here, which represent joy. This person loves you dearly. I feel like they feel you're very responsible for a lot of the healing and the understanding you've brought forward. It's like you've been their spiritual teacher as much as you've been theirs. I'm going to use these ones first. So what else does this person want to say to you? Family. So this person, teacup. You bring a lot of calm into this person's life. That's what they're missing the most. And they really do see you as family. I feel like this connection has kind of crept up on them like a slow rising tide. I think probably in the beginning, you know, they weren't that invested. But as time's gone on, they've really started to see you as family. But again, we've got chicken and wall here. And we've also got hedgehog, which again is that very defensive energy. You know, they don't know what they want and they're afraid. Well, they do know what they want you, but they don't know how to go about working towards that. But they see you as family. They see you as being very calming. I mean, I don't know what teacup means actually in this book. Let's have a look, because in England, tea is all about being calm. That's how I see it. Ease, rest, and small mind. There you go. So, you know, I feel like they don't have all the context and understanding of the nature of this connection that you do, but there's something very gratifying and calming about knowing there is someone else out in this world that understands them and loves them in the way that you do. And they do see you as family. I feel like this person wants a family with you. They see you as the elixir of life. You know, just something so pure and so beautiful. They really recognise the unconditional love that you bring forward into their life. They just are very sad that they're not able to reciprocate about it. So reciprocate those feelings. It's like self-sabotage. You know, we've got isolated, self-sabotage, you know, very focused on the material world and lust. So this person is very much still in ego, and you know, they are self-sabotaging themselves with their own negative thoughts. They're very isolated at the moment. I think definitely this person isn't working because they're obsessed with this idea that they must to be worthy of you. They're very focused on the material world and, you know, this idea that they're simply not good enough. They're also probably stuck in a karmic situation. And this isn't going to be true for all of you. Again, don't make it fit. But for some of them, they're very much focused on beauty, on, you know, focused on connections that are lustful rather than loving. And this is something they've been trapped in. You know, they want arm candy. They want someone that looks pretty, that their friends are going to be impressed with. This is still their ego ruling their mind and making these unhealthy decisions for them and keeping them trapped in these toxic patterns. But finally, I'm trying to think how to ask this. What do they want you to know about how you should be conducting yourself? What do they want from you in terms of action and support? So we have got, I'm fearless, I'm unbreakable, I'm safe, and I'm perceptive. So they really want you to, you know, to keep moving forward in the way that has actually inspired them. by allowing yourself to be vulnerable, authentic, by staying in your power. This person really does see you as very emotionally strong, very secure, very stable. They're blown away by your intuitive nature and your perception of the reality of the connection between you. I feel like that both excites them and unnerves them. But this person just wants you to be okay. They want you to be happy. They want you to be comfortable. You know, they just want you to focus on you and to keep facing true north. So this is really beautiful for you, Pile 1. I really hope that helped. Again, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, pardon me, you can do that through my website, happysouls1111.com. I am fully booked now until mid-January, and I'm not taking any more spirit release therapy bookings until January, because I've got too many now to do before Christmas. But I will be reopening those services in January, and you can still book readings with me. But I think I'm fully booked for somewhere like, I don't know, the 9th of January or something like that. I am reducing the number of hours that I will be doing readings next year, so there won't be as many. So jump in there while you can. Okay, part 2. Why isn't your person communicating? What do they want to say to you? This is a Spiritsong Tarot with Amethyst. And whilst I'm shuffling, just to remind you that all of my new classes start in January. I will be teaching mediumship, I will be teaching twin tarot, and I'll be teaching twin flame energy healing. That shows you how to look at your twin flame connection, how to heal it, how to review the stage you're at, all the stuff I do in my twin flame connection checks. Basically, I'll be showing people how to do that, and you can use those skills professionally afterwards if you would like to. But I'm reminding you, because what tends to happen is on the day that my classes start, when of course they're usually sold out by then, I get a flurry of last minute interest and a billion emails saying, oh, I really wanted to do this class, is there no more room? So it always sells out. If you're interested in doing that class, get it booked in, because I don't add more places. It's limited to 10 people per class. So hopefully I'll see you in January for those classes. Right, let's do this. Why isn't your person communicating? What do they want you to know? What do they want to say? We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Two of Swords in reverse. We've got the Devil, which is transformation in this deck. And we've got the Four of Swords in reverse. What do they want to say to you? We have got, I can't remember if Acorns is Pentacles or Wands. Let me just check in a minute. Acorns and Crystals. Right, so Acorns is Wands. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Fool in reverse, and the Page of Wands in reverse. So let's get some Oracle cards as well. We have got Insight and Innovation. Okay, so I feel like this person has just been unable to make a decision about how to move forward in this connection. With the High Priestess here, they are very aware of the deep kind of telepathic, very spiritual connection between you. You know, this feeling of you'll be thinking about them and something will pop up to remind you of them, or vice versa. They see those signs and synchronicities, and it makes them feel really quite vulnerable and quite terrified. They don't know what it means. I feel like this person is spiritually fairly immature. They don't have a great understanding. They're probably a curious skeptic. You know, they've not got a lot of faith in religion or spirit. And they have been unable to make a decision about how to move forward. However, they are undergoing a major transition, which is intended to bring them back into balance and harmony. And in this deck, you see this bug and its wings are kind of tightly pulled in, and I really feel like they've just withdrawn from the world to try and figure out what's happening to them. This person may be experiencing a spiritual awakening of some sort that they're finding really quite terrifying, but it's intended to bring them back into balance. However, I feel like this person is running from it. With the Four of Swords in reverse, they are not taking the time to actually allow themselves to think about what's happening and to try and, you know, figure it out. It's clarified here by insight. So I do feel like they're getting these insights, but they're just too nervous and they're running scared from this. I feel like also this person is what's the word, overwhelmed by the intensity of the emotions that flow between you. This person was a commitment phobe previously. They're not good at emotional intimacy, and usually they take flight at the first sign of that. I think that's what's happened here. You know, they've identified that there's some depth to this connection with you, and that has kind of disabled them from taking action, from making decisions. They're not comfortable with the intensity of these emotions that you have actually stirred in them. I'm going to pull a clarifier for this. This Two of Swords here in reverse. Yeah, Three of Wands. So this person is aware that, you know, things between you two could be very fulfilling. I feel like you've really stuck your neck out for them, that you've actually showed them a level of compassion, support, love and understanding that they haven't experienced before. I'm guessing that this person has a very dysfunctional background. They grew up in a very volatile household where, you know, emotional support wasn't prevalent, and they've really seen how empathetic, compassionate and just loving you have been. And the idealist part of them, which I'm hearing is a small fraction of who they are, really daydreams about that and thinks about how beautiful that is. But it also terrifies them because the larger part of their dysfunction, their kind of conditioning and their pessimistic mind is saying, but that's not real. You know, it's false, it's not real. So they're not trusting or believing in a happy outcome. And that cynicism is born of their conditioning and stuff that's happened to them before. So this person was probably very emotionally detached from you anyway, very cold. I'm hearing that they express themselves physically, but then they're not sure how to speak their truth or to have an authentic conversation about their feelings, and they don't trust easily. They don't trust in a happy ending because they haven't seen one demonstrated in their kind of close familial and social network. So this person is not allowing themselves enough time to integrate the truths that have become obvious to them, this sacred knowledge that's been downloaded about how joyful and beautiful your connection is. They're just not believing it and trusting it, and they're blocking it out. They're running from it. They're closing themselves off. But this transformation is happening for them nonetheless. So, you know, you need to hold tight because they're being triggered hard. You know, they're going to have to acknowledge it at some point. They've received that insight. It's now just a case of them slowing down long enough to listen. So in terms of what they want to say, in fact, let's get some more cards. Let's get some clarifiers for this. Why aren't they communicating? What else can we find out here? I mean, they know that you're fulfillment, but they don't trust it. We've got the Body, Ghost, Wolf, and Wildflowers. So with the Body, again, for me, this really reaffirms what I was saying about how they approach relationships from a very physical perspective. They are very lustful and passionate for you, but I also feel like, you know, their body is reacting to your energy in a very intense way, and that in itself has become overwhelming. So they don't even feel like they can pursue the physical aspects of your connection because it's just too intense for them. You know, they've definitely ghosted you. I mean, that's the first thing I thought when Ghost comes out. I'm getting that they feel pretty ashamed about this, but again, they're not trusting in that fulfillment. They're also afraid that you're going to ghost them. So I feel like this is one of these persons that's like, you know, I'm going to punch you in the face before you get a chance to punch me. You know, if when they start feeling vulnerable, they get defensive and they pull back. And this is what I feel has happened here. But you know, the wolf, I'm going to read what the wolf says. I see it as a very intuitive pack animal. The self without others, a calling, and the great expanse. So this is coming up over transition and the devil card, that transformation. You know, they're moving out of distorted love and they now have that awareness, you know. Let's see what Wildflowers says as well. Renewal, romance and awakening. So again, you know, this person does have strong feelings. They're transitioning into a new state of being, and you know, this is an awakening of sorts, but they're running from it. They're resisting it. They're very scared, and this is why they've ghosted you. So let's get some of these as well. Do you know what? I've got that horrible feeling I've not hit record again. I know I do this every time. Of course I have. So I feel like there was some kind of confrontation between you. This person is very inclined to, when they don't know how to back out of a situation, they'll start creating dramas that are intended to trigger you to say, stuff you, I'm gone. Yeah, it's easier for them to be rejected than it is to reject. So I feel like there was some kind of confrontation. Either you've ghosted them or they've ghosted you, but they have pulled back hard. They love how serene and peaceful you are, but, they are very codependent. They're in this distorted devil energy, distorted love energy. They've identified this about themselves, perhaps not in real terms, but being with you made them feel trapped because they knew that the love for you they felt was so intense and so joyful that they wouldn't be able to walk away and leave you if they let it get any further along. And of course, that leaves them vulnerable to you leaving them. But this person really yearns for you. They are so remorseful about what's gone on between you. It says vengeful here and ashamed. So I don't know if they cheated or you cheated or something happened that, really triggered this kind of rage and vengeance in them. But they're very ashamed of how they've conducted themselves. Deep down, they know they were wrong. And they just see you as being so kind and so supportive. They're absolutely in awe of how special and loving you are. Now, in terms of what they want to say to you, they want to reassure you that they are going to take action at some point. They do want to work this out. They want to see results. They want to put energy into this, but they are paralyzed from that new beginning at the moment with this Fool in reverse, which is called the Traveler in this deck, because they're still going through this transition. So they're not able to take action at the moment, but they want to reassure you that this is in the cards. This is what they want. But again, with the Page of Wands in here, they can't communicate with you right now. They're not ready. They're just feeling this need to pull back. They are being innovative in how they think about approaching you. And I feel like this person spends a lot of time considering that and dreaming about this reconciliation with you. They're very driven to come towards you again, but they're disabled from doing that with this Fool in reverse. And with this Page of Wands in reverse, they feel they can't even talk about it because that just makes them feel too vulnerable. They're not comfortable having that very deep emotional conversation. So we've got Braid, Justice, Fate, and Noose. So Braid, this is about interconnectedness for me, being kind of wound together. I'm going to see what it says in this deck. This is such a fascinating deck. I'm really loving it. Thank you, Tamara. What's the book saying braid means? Identity, survival, and the opinions of others. So that's really interesting. So I feel like this person in particular is afraid about how your friends, family, and social network will accept them. There could be some major cultural differences here. Could be a large age gap, religious differences, or perhaps even a same-sex connection, which is something neither of you have experienced before. And they're very worried about how they're going to fit in with your life. With Justice and Fate to come up, there is definitely a feeling of karmic retribution here and some kind of destined situation. And I feel like this is why they're holding back right now. I'm going to see what Noose means, because for me that is obviously a very depressed card. Anxiety, threat, and self-sabotage. So, this person... Yeah, this is about that awakening. They're too afraid to face it. They know that they're self-sabotaging themselves by ignoring it, but they feel powerless to take action. They are so scared. So don't underestimate how powerful this person's rotten conditioning from a kind of, an unpleasant upbringing has impacted them. I feel like at times they can be aggressive in their communication because that's how they've learned to talk. They know that they need to discuss this with you in a much more peaceful fashion. But this person is someone, especially with the devil up here, that runs from doing such a thing, runs from trying to resolve things calmly and amicably and in a mature emotional fashion. They invest their time in distracting behaviours. They may have addictions, and they're pretty angry with themselves and at the world. You know, they know that this isn't a good way to be, but they feel powerless to behave in any other way. They're very surprised that you were ever even attracted to someone like them, is what I'm hearing. They see you as being so independent, so strong, so beautiful. But for them with life, they're just going through the motions. They don't know how to be happy. They don't know how to be like you are. And that makes them feel very inferior, very envious, but also very grateful that, you know, you even wanted anything to do with a person like them, is what I'm hearing. Now, I feel like they do pour scorn on it. Sometimes they don't believe that you're so high and happy. They are so self-defeatist that they don't understand how you can be so grateful and happy and calm, you know, about your life connections. We've got emotionally unavailable, you know, repulsed, avoidant and shy. And, you know, they're not repulsed by you. They're repulsed by the intensity of the feelings and their inability to cope with them. So, you know, I feel like you need to give this person some space. They will come back round in the end, but this person definitely has a lot of healing to do. As I said, there's a lot of unresolved karma here, possibly addiction. And this person really needs to learn how to love themselves so that they can learn how to love you. They don't know how to have an emotionally balanced connection. But there's a lot of emotion here for them, for you, and they do think about coming forward. They're just not able to do that at the moment. So I really hope that helps part 2. Please do tell me in the comments below. I love to get feedback from you guys. Love to hear about whether the readings resonated or not. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do that through my website, happysouls1111.com. And you can also book a reading with me. You can also check out my mini readings on Instagram at happysouls1111. Okay, pile 3. Welcome, pile 3. We're going to take a look at why your person is not communicating and what do they want to say to you that they can't say to your face. But whilst I'm shuffling, just a reminder that my classes start in January. I always get a flood of emails at the last minute on the day it starts saying, hey, I really wanted to do this class. Are there any places left? It's always sold out by the time the class starts. So if you're really interested in doing one of those classes, do book your place early because it always sells out. I'm doing twin flame energy healing, which shows you how to do the twin flame connection checks. You can use those skills professionally afterwards if you choose to. I'm also teaching twin flame tarot reading, and I'll also be teaching mediumship, and this will be the last mediumship class I do for a while. So if you're thinking of doing that, then get your name down. Okay, let's do this. Why isn't your person communicating with you, and what do they want to say to you but can't? What do they want you to know? Let's have a look. Why aren't they communicating? We have got the World in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And what do they want to say to you? You've got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well. Wisdom and passion. So this person isn't ready to change. I feel like they are going through a very difficult karmic situation and they're not ready to embrace that change. They feel powerless to create that change. I feel like they also owe you an apology. I think this person may have misled you and they weren't honest with you about their feelings. I'm picking up for some of you that they weren't honest about their situation, their third party situation, or they were also dishonest about their work and career or their finances. Like they tried to make out they were perhaps performing better than they were, or they created a lot of false illusions to help get you interested, not understanding that they were going to end up feeling really deep into this connection. So, but this person is still closing out really big cycles is what I'm hearing. They're kind of at an end of cycle stage in their life where there's lots of things closing out and they feel really powerless. For some of you, this person is also, I think, very resistant to the spiritual nature of your connection. Their ego will not allow them to believe in something like faith or spirit. And you've probably mentioned to them that there's some kind of soulmate connection, and that's really triggered them quite hard. But I'm picking up that this person is also very prideful and very stubborn, because they're not acknowledging their mistakes. They're not acknowledging that they've hurt you or that they were dishonest. I feel like they can't face those truths about themselves. And even though deep down they know you deserve and need an apology, their ego or their pride will not allow them to acknowledge that consciously. It will not allow them to take this action. And they don't know how to work things out with you. I feel like this person's really deeply stuck in ego. We've got the wisdom card here, dream flight. And I feel like this is also something, this has come up in all the piles actually. I feel like this person really dreams about you, and that frightens them. It kind of freaks them out. You know, there's definitely a very spiritual nature to your connection that they just do not understand. But this person also, in fact, I'm picking up very similar energies to pile 2, not exactly the same, but similar. So you might want to watch that pile as well. But this person has a very cynical attitude towards love. So they are choosing stability and comfort and security over romance and real love, authentic love. They don't believe in authentic love. To them, that's something that happens in the movies. So I feel like they're a very practical person, and they don't understand what's happening between you. But yeah, I feel above all else, their pride is kind of getting in the way. Now, they know it's not over between you, but this person is feeling like they can't change right now. They don't know how to. They don't know how to rectify the situation they're in. They don't know how to work it out. I feel like, as I said, also, they've been really dishonest with you about their true circumstances, and they don't know how to face that. So there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of embarrassment and shame about having misled you, and there's a serious amount of confusion. Yeah, so we've got hedgehog. This is very defensive energy. Yeah, story. You know, they've fed you a story. We've got toad, and we've got elixir. So I'm just going to see what the book's saying about the toad. So this is a new deck. Humour, the grotesque, and joy, and story. It really annoys me that these aren't in alphabetical order. Zora. Where are you, Zora? Zora Neale Hurston. If you guys are into literature, you may recognise some of these. It's such a cool deck. Where's Zora? There she is. Your story, the stories of others, or listening. So yeah, I feel like this person, I feel like they covered up not just their circumstances, but their true self. They saw you as being such a wise, confident, and happy person. This is the sort of person that says, yeah, I've read that book, because they don't want to look stupid. You know, they tell silly, pointless lies so that you perceive them as being better than they believe that they are. So I do feel like there's been some pretty ugly lies and really silly, pointless lies. And this person is very defensive now. They're very afraid, but they really do, you know, I feel like they feel like you somehow hold the secret or key to life. They definitely see you as just infinitely wise, and they're absolutely in awe of how smart, intelligent, articulate, and eloquent you are. And they just wish that some of that would rub off on them. But it's massively triggered their lack of self-worth, their lack of self-esteem. I'm picking up that you're probably highly educated and they're not. So they've tried to make themselves look more intellectual, more successful than they truly are. There's a lot of shadow aspects around this person that they haven't quite worked through yet. And in this deck, what's interesting, we've got the elixir here, which features a bottle. But in this card that represents story, you can see that there's a bottle here that's upturned and there's all this darkness pouring out. Home is there in the middle. We've got the skull, which represents transformation. All of these shadow aspects of self, that devil on the shoulder telling him he's not good enough. The hair, which represents rebirth. He knows he needs to change, but he's not worried. And then this ghost, you know, it's like he's haunted by his lies. He knows that and he's got one glove on his hand. He only has one glove off, but he's dipping his hand into that black liquid. He's feeling the shame, the intensity, the regret and disappointment of his lies, of how he's created this false story. But this will also trigger him to transform and be a better person. But he's not ready for that change yet. He's not ready for a new partnership. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, he really doesn't know how to move forward. He's got no clue of what kind of strategy or creative plan he needs to develop. He just knows that he has to come clean. Because you're going to find out, if you haven't already, sooner or later, the truth of who he is. But he's not ready to face that, and he doesn't see any other way out. With the King of Cups, though, this coming up really reassures us that he cares very deeply, but he's not able to release those feelings. He's not able to come forward and make you an offer because he's trapped. He's not quite, with the Knight of Cups in this card, you can see this person crossing that stream of emotion. And this being in reverse, he's not ready to do that. He's not ready to reveal his emotions. He's much more happy keeping them contained, keeping them to himself. He feels very passionately about you, though. He just also feels very stuck and doesn't know how to change the situation between you. But he wants you to know that he cares very deeply. There is big love and big passion here, but he's not in a position to make an offer at all. He feels the loss of you. It hurts him. Again, story, we've got the intellect here. He knows he hasn't been truthful. He just wanted to look smarter. He wanted to look more accomplished. But he feels the loss of you. It burns at the very edges of him, and I feel like you wanted to know that. But he needs to work this out. This is about teamwork. It's about community. He feels like he needs to talk to you and work it out, but he's powerless to do that at the moment. And we've also got family. I'm feeling that this person also, as I said, that their life circumstances probably have either not been fully revealed to you, or he lied about them initially and you've found out. And family is something that keeps him back from moving forward as well. In part, these are the circumstances that he doesn't know how to change. So very intense energies from this person. They've definitely kind of tied themselves up with these silly lies. But they're optimistic, but they're just embarrassed and they don't know how to deal with this. They're massively burdened by the weight of disappointment, but it does motivate them to want to better themselves. They're massively in love with you. They're so intrigued that you would be interested in someone like them because they feel pathetic. They feel so shy in your presence, and this is why they've been avoiding you and not communicating with you. They admire you so much, but they are fearful, and this is why they're avoidant. The feelings in them are big, they're romantic, and this is why we've got that King of Cups energy, but it's a double-edged sword. It's also painful for them to acknowledge that they're not good enough, and they're curious about why you would like someone like them. And they end up projecting that out, and of course they've broken your trust. So, there's a tremendous amount of betrayal here. So what else do they want to say to you? They are absolutely horrified and repulsed by the way they've behaved. They feel helpless to make it better. And this is why they've been secluded from you, reclusive. They're very tense, but they just want you to be happy. They're uncertain of how you truly feel about them. Because in their eyes, they're just a stupid fool. They have no purpose, whereas you seem to have this beautiful mission, and their shadow self, is always creeping in to sabotage them. They wish they could make you happy, but they feel trapped in their current circumstances, and they're with a very codependent person as well, I'm hearing. But they want you to know that they're always keeping an eye on you, and, they're watching you. Their person is very suspicious, and I feel like this is one of the reasons they had to pull back. That they're in a very codependent relationship. They work hard to try and please that person because they want to avoid confrontation, and they feel absolutely worthless about the way they've treated you. They have so many insecurities, and they just don't know how to make this work. They're really, really anxious. So let's get a message as well. What do they want you to do? What would they like you to do? So we've got, I am safe, I am a creator, I am a dreamer, And I'm happy. So this is really lovely. I'm hearing that they want you to know that they never intentionally hurt you, and they just want you to be okay and happy, which is why they've pulled back. They want you to carry on being the beautiful big dreamer. I feel like you've talked a lot to this person about manifestation and kind of creating that inner power. And even though they don't believe in that stuff, they were kind of in awe and inspired by this nature in you. They just want you to be happy, and they don't feel like they can make you happy. So they're saying, you know, keep dreaming, keep creating this beautiful life for yourself. I'm not going to come and try and hurt you again. I'm going to leave you be. I don't want to bring any of this darkness and this drama to your life, because you're so much better than me, is what I'm hearing. And that's really how they feel and believe. And I feel this is why they've detached. So I really hope that was helpful for you, pile 3. Sending you lots of love. Please do let me know down in the comments below if that resonated or was helpful. I love to get feedback from you guys. And of course, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do that through my website, which is happysouls1111.com. If you enjoyed this reading and you don't subscribe already, hit the subscribe button. There is a little bell icon there which will notify you when I've posted a reading, so hit that too. And I appreciate all of my new subscribers. You guys are amazing. It's so humbling that so many of you are interested in my my drivel. I know it's not drivel. I'm being a bit hard on myself, but it's very humbling to know so many of you are watching. Okay, pile 4. We've got the Rupaul Drag Race deck for you. And we want to know, why is your person not communicating with you? Why are they not communicating, and what do they want to say to you? We're going to pull cards for both of those questions. We're going to get some oracle cards as well. Why are they not communicating? We have got the 4 of Cups in reverse. We have got the 3 of Swords in reverse. We have got the 10 of Swords in reverse. And we have got Temperance in reverse. Wow. What do they want to say? I'm going to show you these cards, because if you are a Drag Race fan, you need to know who's on them, right? They're pretty funny. Although my daughter, who's a big Drag Race fan, was really disappointed at how they've placed each drag act on certain cards. She didn't agree with it, but it's still pretty funny. So what do they want to say? We've got the Queen of Swords. We have got the 9 of Cups. We have got the 4 of Swords in reverse. And we have got the 2 of Wands in reverse. So I'm going to show you all of these so you can actually see them, because they're funny. Right, let's get some oracle cards. I'm going to pull more oracle cards as we go. We've got Innocence and Impeccability. So above all else, this person is going through a really painful healing cycle. We've got the 3 of Swords in reverse and the 10 of Swords in reverse. The 3 of Swords is represented by Morgan McMichaels, and the 10 is represented by Peppermint. You see those there? So this person is going through some very painful healing cycles, and that they've not quite come through yet. You know, the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords are really the most painful cards in the deck. So I'm feeling that this person's experienced massive turbulence in probably relationships and career. They've been very, very hurt, and they're very scared to love again. With the 4 of Cups in reverse, they're just, you know, I feel like they're just not seeing the opportunities. This one's represented by Jujubee, and they're just not seeing or ready to face the anxiety and depression that they're currently residing in. This person is very withdrawn. They're not ready to come out of their shell. They're not ready to come out of this period of hibernation and recuperation. You know, with Temperance here, they're not easy to pick up. With Temperance represented by Violet Chachki, they are very much out of balance. I feel like this person just feels desolate. You know, I feel like they were very innocent and naive in love. I'm picking up a strong idea of betrayal, like their partner left them in really unpleasant circumstances and they are just broken by this ending. Now, they are coming through the other side of it, but they're still in that cycle of pain. They've not come out of it yet. They're kind of, you know, the wheel is turning, but it's not fully turned. And this person really, I just feel, was very emotionally naive and innocent to this kind of pain. I think it's their first truly broken heart, and so it's hit them really, really hard. So I don't feel like their rejection or their silence towards you is actually anything to do with you at all. I just feel like this person wasn't ready for a relationship. Their heart is too broken. It's not been kind of made whole again, and so they're just not seeing the beautiful opportunity that's being presented by your connection. This person's probably still hung up, not just on the circumstances of what happened to them, but on the ex. You know, I feel like they've not fully released the sadness and regret. There's still some kind of longing or yearning for that person, and they know that wouldn't be fair to you. So I feel like they really have stepped away for your own good. They don't want to hurt you. You know, I really feel like this person isn't trying to be a deliberate arsehole. They're just in too much pain, and they can't see that there's potential joy and abundance and, you know, satisfaction and fulfillment in this connection, because they just can't imagine being happy in a relationship again. They can't imagine trusting someone again. They can't imagine getting over the pain that they're in. This person may, with temperance in reverse, I always think that can indicate mental health problems as well. So this person could literally be very anxious and very depressed and really kind of wallowing in that darkness at the moment. So I'm really feeling very strongly that actually their absence, their silence is nothing to do with you at all. It's not personal. They just really cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we've got healing. You know, they really are going through this healing cycle. We've got fate. So this pain that they're going through, this betrayal that they experienced, I feel like this was the universe moving that person out of the way for them so that they could have a brand new start. But they really don't see that at the moment. And, you know, they're going through this healing period. But as I said, that healing period isn't completed. It could take some time. You know, their soul needs to be, what's the word? Their soul is fragmented. It needs to be made whole again. And this is something, you know, they need to do that work for themselves. They need to figure that out for themselves. We've got the eel here. What's the eel? I'm thinking slippery, not trusting. What's the eel saying? What lurks? Yeah, dishonesty, electricity. So I feel like this in part is why they've detached. They may not have revealed to you the extent of their anxiety and their depression. I feel like this is probably something they kept hidden from you because they were so embarrassed and they didn't want you to perceive them as weak in that way. So it could be that you didn't actually get any indication whatsoever that this person wasn't well. But I'm thinking that as you're watching this is, you know, a lot of pennies are going to drop at once. It's going to make a bit more sense. They may have been unpredictable, kind of cancelling at the last minute. They may have seemed pretty happy on the surface, but this person was disguising deep pain. And I'm picking up very bad social anxiety in particular, that, you know, they may not actually go out much or feel very comfortable in kind of social situations or, you know, busy kind of places. So this person's definitely hiding something regards their mental health. They're just not as strong as you, but they watch you obsessively on social media. They feel quite desperate in their circumstances and didn't know how to say that to you. They didn't want to disappoint you. And I feel like this person just ghosted you. But actually, they're pretty obsessed and infatuated with you. But they're so bitter about their past and the situation and the pain they're in that they just can't get past it. So I feel like kind of, you know, being focused on you brings them some comfort, but it doesn't actually allow them to disconnect from the pain they've felt with this other person and the love that they've lost. They're just not able to do that. So I feel like they were really manipulated and they truly are heartbroken. You know, they're very bitter, I'm feeling. They're just very bitter towards the other person. They're not able to let go of the rage and the anger. And of course, we've got void there, which really is being in that very dark place, very depressive place. I do feel like they see a light at the end of the tunnel sometimes, and they try and assert themselves that they're going to be better. But they just wanted you to be safe from this hopelessness, this pervasive air of doom and gloom that they reside in. They didn't want to inflict that upon you. They're saying, you know, this pain is my problem, not yours. And so I feel like they're reluctant to communicate it to anyone. They don't know what the solution is to that. They're just so very sad. So this person had to pull back. They weren't able to be emotionally available for you. But in terms of what they want to say, I feel like this person wishes they could be honest with you. You know, they need to bring themselves back into emotional balance with this Nine of Cups. And these cards, I'm going to show you them as I promised I would. We've got the Queen of Swords represented here by Courtney Act. And we've got the Nine of Cups represented by Milk. So, you know, this person knows that they need to bring themselves back into emotional balance before they can offer you any kind of emotional reciprocation. You know, the Queen of Swords here, she's standing very firm. She's offering this tray, this fish, which represents water, emotion. But, you know, they want to take action, but they need to bring themselves back into emotional balance first. And with this Four of Swords in reverse, which is represented by Acid Betty, they are just not feeling able to do that at this stage. They're not able to see past their pain. You know, their soul is still in pieces. They're still disconnected from the truth of who they are. And they're not able to make decisions at the moment with this Two of Wands. We've got Monica Beverly Hills here, representative of the Two of Wands. And of course, this is in reverse. You know, they're not able to grasp that fulfillment. And what they love about you is how impeccable you were with their word. With your word. They see you as an impeccably honest, high integrity person. They love the depth of your conversations. It says here, mind like an ocean. And I feel this person really sensed your emotional depths and your intellectual depths as well. I think they do hold you in very, very high regard. You know, they really want you to know that they think you're absolutely fantastic, but they're really sorry. You know, they just can't move past this pain they're in. We've also got eyes. So again, this person's like, you know, I am watching you and I love looking at your photos and I love seeing that you're okay. I think about the future with you, but I'm just not there yet. I'm not ready for that rebirth. And I feel like I belong with you. It's really interesting because we've got the eel here again. You know, in this card, she's actually holding an eel. And I feel like they say, you know, I want to come clean with you. I want to tell you the truth. I want to share this with you, but I just don't know how. And we've got ghosts. So yeah, I'm sorry I ghosted you. I just didn't know how to confront the situation. I didn't know how to be honest with you about it. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. What else they want to say? They're just happy that you're free, and you know, they know that they're self-sabotaging themselves. They're envious of your happy-go-lucky nature, but so grateful that you appear to have moved on, and they're just so fearful and avoidant. They love that you just get out there and party. They are pretty paranoid about you meeting someone else, and then they get ashamed for thinking that because they've ghosted you. Sometimes they think that you appear on social media with other guys or other people to try and make them jealous, and they're really remorseful that they didn't snap you up when they could. But you know, they're powerless to take action right now. They're really trapped in their own pain. They feel disempowered. They're just disappointed. They've got a tremendous amount of inner child wounds, which I feel have been triggered by the end of this relationship that they've had with someone else. But they're really worried and concerned that, you know, they may have hurt your feelings somehow, but they're intrigued that you seem to look pretty happy, like you're getting on with your life. And, you know, they're just this recluse. So it's not like they're out there courting anyone else. They just don't feel like they can be in a relationship right now with you or anybody. So it's really not about you. This person holds you in very high regard. Let's see what they want you to do. What actions do they want you to take? They want you to celebrate who you are because they think you're really special. They're very passionate about you. They love how you're able to transform yourself. They love how authentic and real you are. And they wish that you could wait until they are ready. And I'm reluctant to pass on messages like that because I don't think you should wait for anyone. You know, at the end of the day, you're single. So don't deny yourself any happiness. But if you really care about this person, you know, I do feel like, you know, that you see here, it says, I'm ready. And you see this person with their hands over their face. And they hope that you could wait until they're ready. But on the same token, they don't want to see what's going on in your life. And yet I feel like they obsessively watch you. But they're very proud of you and they care about you a lot. So I really hope that helps, pile 4. Sending you lots of love. Please do comment down below. Let me know if that resonated for you. I love to hear your feedback, or if it didn't resonate, you know, either way. And if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do that through my website, happysouls1111.com. I am fully booked now until mid-January, but I'm going to be doing less readings next year, so snap them up while you can. When they're gone, they're gone. But I'm going to be focusing on more video readings and on teaching. So if you want to find me on Instagram and check out my mini reads over there as well, you can do that. I'm on Instagram at happysouls1111. And I've also got a Facebook networking group for twins and ascending souls. If you need that support, you can find the link in the description box below. So thank you so much. Happy Friday, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.